What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports, back again with another one. The defending world champion Los Angeles Lakers got demolished last night in Game 5 to the Phoenix Suns, 115 to 185. Complete annihilation at the hands of the Phoenix Suns. The game wasn't even close, man. It was basically over with in the second quarter as the Lakers went ice cold. They started out pretty good. You know, LeBron was hitting some threes, and I think they had a couple other guys that stepped up and hit some shots, man. But LeBron came out real aggressive, ultra aggressive. But then he went ice cold, and when he went ice cold, the game got out of hand real fast. There's an old saying in sports, it's getting late early, and that's exactly what happened in that game in the late first half, early second quarter, actually. Late first quarter, early second quarter. That game got out of hand real quick as they pretty much had a 30-point lead throughout the second half of that game. Now, LeBron James had about 30 points, I believe, you know, but he had basically a Sharif Raheem type of impact on the game, man. You know, remember when Sharif Raheem was putting up them numbers in Sacramento, but they wasn't winning no games? That's basically the type of game he had in Game 5. Got his numbers, but didn't have no impact on this game. Now, he didn't really attack the basket like I wanted to see him do, but when he did attack the basket, he just don't have no explosive, man. His high ankle sprain is not 100%, obviously. It's not even nowhere close to 100% where he played last night, man. He could not explode getting to the rack, man. He was getting to the rack, man, but he was having to flip up shots instead of exploding to the rim and finishing strong. He had to kind of get there and kind of fade away from the basket and flip up the shot. So you could tell he has no explosiveness, especially in the right leg due to that high ankle sprain that he suffered, and it pretty much really affected his game going to the basket. Now, a lot of people are going to say, oh, man, he didn't want to go to the basket because he didn't want to go to the free throw line. He don't have no confidence at the free throw line. I don't think that was the case. You know, he did a good performance in Game 3 where he attacked the basket and stuff, especially in the second half of that game. But with these games being every other day and they're not really having any break outside of Game, 3 and Game 4 where they played Thursday night and then they played Sunday. So they had basically a 2-day break in between that. I guess that allowed Chris Paul to come back and play, because if that game would have been Thursday, Saturday, like it had been going on from most of the series, you know, one day off and then you play, then I don't think Chris Paul would have been as effective. So that's probably was a turning point in this series. Game 3 getting played on Thursday night, and Game 4 getting played on Sunday afternoon. That gave Chris Paul that extra day to get that shoulder healthy enough for he could come out and perform. He had a big-time Game 4, and that might be the turning point in this series, man, basically scheduling. But LeBron James and the Lakers got dominated last night, got annihilated, got taken behind the woodshed, and was just dominated, man. It was just dominating performance. You know, this basically is a coming-out party for Devin Booker. You know, he's been the best player in this series, really. Overall, when if you had to give an MVP, you know how to give an MVP of the finals? You know, the MVP of this first round matchup so far has been Devin Booker, man. He's been outstanding, man. He's been putting up numbers, man. He's coming off that pick looking like a young Klay Thompson, hitting threes. He's getting to the basket, hitting a little floater. He's playing a complete game, and he's announcing himself to the world that he is that dude that can maybe carry a team to the ultimate destination, that being a championship, you know, led by the veteran Chris Paul. Now, Chris Paul, to me, is like more of that Kyle Lowry role that he played in Toronto when they won when they won the championship with Kawhi Leonard, bringing the first ever championship to the country of Canada and the city of Toronto. And I think Chris Paul is basically in that same role where the best player on the team is Devin Booker. Best player on that team was Kawhi Leonard, but the leader and the motor, the engine that made that car go, was Kyle Lowry on that Toronto team, and it's Chris Paul on this Phoenix Suns team. So it's a good win by them. We're going to see what happened in Game 6. It's going to be another quick turnaround because I think they're going to play Thursday night. So LeBron James is going to have to try to get that ankle as healthy as he can be, but it's going to be a hard thing for him to do. You know, like I said, it's not that much time in between Game 5 and Game 6, but he's going to have to do the best he going to do. Now, a lot of people was getting on him about leaving the game 5 minutes early, saying that was a Bush League move. Stuff like that, you know, what those 5 minutes are going to do. You mean to tell me he's going to leave the game early and go get some treatment in them 5 minutes that he could have stayed there to support his teammates coming off the bench? You know, you think those 5 minutes was going to make that big of a difference for him to come back and play a better Game 6 and be a little bit more healthier going to Game 6? Nah, I don't think so. That's what a lot of people were saying. So, But I just think he was frustrated, man. He wanted to get up out of there, clear his mind, and he'll be ready to go game 6. The thing about it is he's going to have to get his teammates involved. Caldwell Pope's got to show up. You know, I think they got to play Ben McLemore. He got no playing time. I understand Frank Vogel's the type of coach, if you don't play no defense, he ain't going to play you. That's why he ain't playing Vogel. That's why he ain't playing, that's exactly why he not playing Ben McLemore. That's probably the reason why he ain't playing, I don't understand why he's not playing Wesley Matthews. Wesley Matthews actually is a good defender on the perimeter, but he ain't getting no playing time up until this game last night. Now, he got some playing time in the second half, but that game was already out of hand by that time. But hopefully he'll get some minutes in game 6. But when you watch that game, you can see the lack of foot speed on the court, man. They had a hard time keeping up with the foot speed of Phoenix. Phoenix is a much younger team, a much quicker team, and you can see the difference on the court as far as lack of foot speed, you know. So, you know, the Lakers are a veteran team, an older team and stuff like that. They just have a hard time keeping up with them young guys. Them young guys are able to cover more ground on the court than a team like the Lakers, who, you know, a team that's filled with a bunch of veterans on the roster, you know, so outside of Kyle Kuzma. So you can kind of, you know, you saw that in the glaring on your TV screen when you watched that game last night. So they're going to have to make some adjustments, man. They need Anthony Davis to come back. He's got to come back, you know. He's going to have to give it a go. You know, I understand when you have a groin injury, you could be out for a little while. Now, it's kind of, you know, obviously a tender injury. You don't know. You want to kind of be careful with it. You want to kind of be cautious with it, but ain't no time to be careful and ain't no time to be cautious. It's an elimination game, game 6. If you don't win this game Thursday night, your season is over with, and your quest to become back-to-back championship is done for. So you got to get back out there and make it happen, AD. You're going to have to get shot up, whatever you're going to get shot up with, and go out there and try to play as long as you can, as effective as you can. And if you out there hurting the team, then, you know, the coach Frank Vogel will have to take you out. But you got to do what Chris Paul did in game 3 and even in game 2. He played, and then he saw he was ineffective. The coach took him out. But you got to give yourself, you got to tell the coach, hey, man, give me a chance. Give me a chance. Let me get out there, see what I can do, and let me go as long as I can go. And let me see if I can make some things happen. Because even if I'm not as effective as I am, I could be a good decoy out there. They got to respect my game when I'm out there on the court. They can't just focus on LeBron and staying at home with the shooters. Basically, one-dimensional type of offense. When I'm out there, you know, you can put the ball in my hands. I can go to the post. I can take it outside. So I just bring more dimensions to our offense. So let me get out there game 6 and see what I can do. And that's exactly the mindset that Anthony Davis needs to have in game 6. So we will see what happens, and we'll damn sure see what transpires as far as that goes. But quick summation of the situation that went down in game 5 is the Lakers are in trouble. They on the brink of extinction. They gonna have to win game 6 or it's over. Time to go on vacation. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here. It's what the Phoenix Suns gonna be looking to do to the Lakers in game 6. Close that show and get ready for the winner of the Denver Nuggets and the Portland Trail Blazers, which was a great game, man. That was a high-scoring game. Man, that was a good game last night. That was the only good game on last night, man. These first game, Brooklyn and Boston, was pretty much dominated by Brooklyn. And the next game after that, with the Phoenix Suns and the Los Angeles Lakers, was pretty much dominated. Pretty much dominated. Was all the way dominated by the Phoenix Suns. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. But let me know your thoughts about the Los Angeles Lakers. Do you think they're going to come through and force a game 7, or you think it's over? And you think it's a done deal due to the injuries and due to the young, the fresher team and the better player in this series, Devin Booker? Let me know your thoughts, and hit the like button if you like the content of this video, and subscribe to JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. I holla.